Perseverance is demonstrated by those who keep going when the going gets tough, who don't give up even when others say it can't be done. In 1864, the First Presidency assigned Apostles Ezra T. Benson, Lorenzo Snow, along with elders Alma Smith and William W. Clough, on a mission to the Hawaiian Islands. From Honolulu, they took passage on a small boat to the little harbor in Lahaina. As they approached the reef, the surf was running high, and a heavy swell struck the boat, carrying it about 50 yards and leaving it in a trough between two huge waves. When the second swell struck, the boat capsized into the foaming sea. Crew members manned a lifeboat and picked up three of the brethren who were swimming near the submerged boat, but there was no sign of Brother Snow. Hawaiians accustomed to the surf swam in every direction and searched for him. Eventually, one of them felt something in the water, and they pulled Brother Snow to the surface. His body was stiff, and he looked like he was dead as they hauled him into the boat. Elder Smith and Elder Clough laid Brother Snow's body across their laps and quietly administered to him, asking the Lord to spare his life that he might return to his family and home. When they reached the shore, they carried Brother Snow to some large empty barrels lying on the beach, and laying him face downwards on one of them, they rolled him back and forth to expel the water he had swallowed. After working over him for some time, without any indication of life, the bystanders said that nothing more could be done for him. But the determined elders would not give up. So they prayed again with the quiet assurance that the Lord would hear and answer their prayers. They were impressed to do something rather unusual for that day and time. One of them placed his mouth over Brother Snow's, and in an effort to inflate his lungs, alternately blowing in and drawing out air, imitating the natural process of breathing, taking turns, they persevered until they succeeded in inflating his lungs. A little while later, they perceived faint indications of returning life. A slight wink of the eye, which until then had been open and deathlike, and a very faint rattle in the throat were the first symptoms of returning vitality. These grew more distinct until consciousness was fully restored. With their perseverance and the smile of a merciful providence, all four of the Lord's servants survived and were able to complete their missions. Elder Snow went on to become the president of the church. While serving in that office, he stabilized the church's funds by urging the members to pay their tithes and offerings. You, brethren, will be interested to know that the Alma Smith in this story was the boy who was shot in the hip at Haun's Mill, destroying the hip joint and socket. His mother dressed the terrible wound with some balsam and then was inspired to have him lay on his face for 5 weeks. A flexible gristle grew in place of the missing joint and socket so that he was not only able to live a normal life, but also serve a mission to Hawaii and give a lifetime of service to the church.